absolutely open to feedback. So if you have any suggestions, just share with us now, because the whole idea of unveiling this process in Bombay, Delhi and Bangalore was to get feedback from people in the audience, and that's where it becomes citizen encouraged. It's not what we want to do, it's what you, along with us, would want to see in this list. So please feel free to give us
my name is Vikas Chabra and I am from the village of Tijarati Sansthan. And first of all, I would like to congratulate you and thank you that you have really organized a very good function and platform where we can explore more things. But everyone said something or the other things. There were many points which were discussed, and everyone said something very good. Nothing was wrong, but I think we missed some points. The first thing which I would say, someone gave me an example sometime back. He said, suppose a bird is in a cage and there are three people. The first person just passes by and took pity of that bird, that he cannot be free in his cage. And second person comes and he feeds that bird some maybe meat or something or water. And third person comes that opens up. We are getting one thing we are getting is inferiority complex amongst them. I don't have anything. You give it to me, I will need it next day as well. You give me a small piece, you can feed me for a day, but what about the next day? So I also learned somewhere that you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, but if you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a life.
Exactly, you're talking about sustainability.
Obviously funds are given and there are a lot of things which are given to poor people and who are underprivileged. But what did upon us? We should not make them dependent upon us.
Sure. I appreciate what you're saying, and a very valid point is what you raised. It's not about giving money, it's not about freeing me. I mean, I open it to the larger audience. It's more holistic in nature. The money being incidental, it's like low down there in terms of what we are looking at. And I was speaking to you about the Reliance example and things like that. So, I mean, what are you doing overall to make it an integral part of your business plan, of your business model, is what we are looking at. Yes? So CSR is not about giving blankets or freeing the bird or things like that. But having said that, I think you have a very valid question, and we'll open it up to a larger audience since the process is democratic. Is there anybody who would like to kind of answer what is the best approach?
Yeah, I think, what he's saying, applies all. What it means is that you have to empower the people. Absolutely. Unless and until you empower people, somebody, long back told me, he was somewhere in the conference and somebody, a very rich man's house. And this fellow, I think was a journalist. I just happened to walk into that place and he says, "Ki saab dekh rahe ye?" I know what? कहता ये लोग इनको रोटी दे सकते हैं, रोजी नहीं दे सकते. You see, you can feed, as you said, कि somebody came, he walked past, and somebody came, fed the bird, and somebody came, it's free. Now, what is more important? The more important is if you empower the people. Now, therefore, the answer to you is that you should do something whereby your community that you are trying to help is empowered. And now, how you empower, you don't ask me how you empower, because it goes into a different community, you have to analyze what is their need.
That is my question to all of you, because you all are experienced, you all are working somewhere, and we want to learn from you as well. We are doing something, I will tell you what we are doing. But I would like to ask from all of you that what is being done to empower people so that they can get free and they can earn their own living and they don't need to depend upon others.
I think you kind of opened up a Pandora's box. It's a whole debate, but in the interest of empowering communities, and then on one side you have the NGO sector, the so-called holier than thou sector, and I'm very critical of the bad company. I beg to differ. They've probably done what the NGO sector has not been able to do in 60 years of independence. They've empowered the farmer with each of ours. So,
I think disagree there. Each of ours is a business proposition for ITC if we get down to the history.
Pandora's box, but you've been hearing.
Each is a complete business proposition.
Excuse me, but that's exactly what I said. That you can look at it as a cost center or you can look at it as a profit center.
It's a profit center.
And in the long
the NGO program runs as a profit center. You're no more creating that opportunity for the society. So there's no question of empowering
I'm afraid
business.
I don't get into an argument, but I'm saying that I work in the NGO. I work in both sides. I worked 14 years in the corporate sector, 7 years in the NGO sector. And let me tell you, my friend, make poverty history is a good slogan. None of us in the NGO sector are interested in making poverty history. And there's a piece which I had written for Business World called The Business of NGO. So there's nothing holier than thou over here. But what we kind of look at this is that as a capitalist, as a business, what are you doing to kind of make CSR employ and encourage the triple bottom line approach? Let us face a fact that if a business is not making profit, if it is not making financial bottom lines, they won't be able to do any good any which way. Right? So profit is not a bad word. But the point is, how do you deploy that profit into doing good?
Each of us will not deploy it. It's an open case.
Well, Dheeraj, you want to kind of answer that because you're part of the IDC family. I know you're from the hotels division, but I'm sure you know about what each of us is doing. Please give the microphone. Sure. I mean, and I don't know what your personal grievances with them are, but I'm just kidding. To give you an example, there was this company that we engaged with in 2004, and I won't name the company, but the only reason, it's a telecom company, the only reason they agreed to have a CSR strategy because the company which was merging with them at that time said that we can't merge with you because you don't have a CSR strategy. And we are part of the UN Global Compact, so we can't merge with you. So the entire senior management team was running all around to write a CSR strategy, to write a CSR strategy. And the president at that time got in touch with me and said, would you help out? I was being driven by the CEO of the foreign company, which had to merge with them. The Indian CEOs were still not interested, but happy to say that from then to now, it's become an integral part of their model. So, there are two ways. You can either confront or you can engage.
The problem with programs like each of us, to answer that gentleman's question, is very simple.
Right.
Everyone says it, everyone does not say it directly.
Right.
The gentleman here pointed it out very rightly that it's powering a social community to a certain extent.
Sure.
It's not empowering anyone. It's actually going out there and creating that opportunity. Each of us started on that principle.
Sure.
But it bombed off during certain down the line.
Because
the ideology couldn't just flow down from the CEO to the ground level.
True.
The implementation couldn't take place.
True.
So what do you do in that scenario? That's what the answer to that gentleman
is.
And who's the better person? All three people are good in their own scenarios. But it's just the third person who's just gone ahead and done a little more by creating that opportunity for that bird to survive.
So is it corporatism then we have it?
As per the Oxford Dictionary, my learned friend, the corporate word does not even comprise of business, inverted commas. Corporate word itself means, as per the Oxford Dictionary, that it's a group of people, an activity which is done by them and owned by them.
Right.
So you can't call it a CSR, my friend.
I'm not saying CSR, I'm saying CSO.
What is the C word cannot exist in its own way. The C word itself can't be there.
May I know your name, sir?
Weber Agarwal.
Weber, yeah. Are you a lawyer by training?